Hello, my name is Claus and I'm just going to put off the jam track there. Welcome to this free neoclassical guitar shredding lesson. This is the first video out of several in my free mini program on melodic rock and neoclassical soloing and composing. And in this video, I'll show you an exercise that, if you use it, will help you remove the missing link in your skills. And you just have to use it just 5 to 10 minutes each day for a week. So what is the missing link in your skills? Well, when I started getting really serious about developing my skills, I learned all the techniques and the licks and the sequences, and I did all the exercises, and I really put in the effort. I got to the point where I could do quite a few fast alternate picking and sweep picking licks, and I knew the scale shapes fairly well. Getting to that point took a lot of work, and it certainly wasn't easy, but even though I had the skills, I had a very hard time combining them all, and I had no freedom when I was playing because I had to think about everything I did. I used to listen to guitar masters and go, how is it that these tools and these techniques become that? It was like I had all the ingredients for the cake, but I didn't know how to get to that point where I could put them all together into something great. Can you relate? It really didn't seem fair. I had worked so hard to get the skills, expecting to reach that point of virtuosity, but all I had was a bunch of techniques and tools that didn't really produce the result I wanted. I was really close to just giving up and thinking that these people must have some kind of special ability or talent that I don't have, since I can do about the same things as them, but I can't put it together. That putting it together must be some special thing that you cannot learn because no one is teaching it. And no teacher I talked to could tell me what that missing link was, other than, well, I guess you just have to practice more. But practice what? Techniques? Fretboard patterns? How is doing more of what didn't really work going to get me to that master skill level? I didn't buy it because I couldn't. Instead, I decided to figure out how to practice closing that gap. Since I had all the techniques and tools but still couldn't do it, then there must be a missing skill that I could identify, practice, learn, and master. So I started trying out all sorts of exercises and methods. The more the merrier, but most of them didn't work. But some of them were extremely effective. So much so that I closed that gap in about 6 months. A total change in the way it felt to play this instrument. And I often found myself just laughing at all the things I could do suddenly. My new Neoclassical Academy program is packed with these little methods to close that gap between mere tools and techniques and then actual shredding and playing skills. But right now, I'm going to give you an example of one little strategy that, if you really apply it, will give you a very real experience of what that feels like. The gap, or missing link, is made up of these little skills that no one teaches, such as how do you really learn to end any run you play in a cool way? Or how do you play fast in your solos? We know what skills it takes. You know, you have to use alternate picking or legato and sweep picking. So we know what technique we have to use, and that's what we learn most often. But how do we incorporate all those techniques into our solos so it sounds really great? I used to really wonder about that. Every fast run I did was an accident waiting to happen. Well, I have to end it so it sounds cool. And how do I know when to end it, and what note should I hit? And how do I hit that note and make it sound great? And what if I make a mistake in the middle of the run and I have to start over? And when I'm moving so fast, I can't be sure that I can keep the run going for as long as I need to, because I might run out of notes on the fretboard or ideas. It really wasn't much fun, but the exercise I'm about to show you will make it very obvious to you that you can specifically practice getting to that point where you can use all your tools together and have that experience of flow. When you do this little exercise, just 5 to 10 minutes each day for 7 days, at the end of the week, you will have a new feeling of, hey, I can really get to that last level. So let's look at it. Basically, it's a very simple exercise, but it's all about practicing playing a run that is out of time, meaning you just play as many notes as you can and then returning to the beat of the music once more. And for this purpose, for this little exercise, and please use the notes that are in the charts. If you are on my website, you can just download the charts just beside this video. If you're on YouTube, click the link below this video and go there. So I've laid out the A harmonic minor scale on the high E string. So that's the scale we're going to use. We're going to play over a track in E Phrygian sharp 3, which is derived from the A harmonic minor scale. But we'll look more into that. And then on top of that scale, on the high E string, I put down a A flat diminished triad. And those notes are going to be the notes that we end our lines on. So as the music plays, we're going to play a fast run, and that can just be 3 notes over and over again. And then we end our run on one of these arpeggio notes. So that's the discipline. And if you haven't got any one-string sequences at hand, you can use this one. You simply have 3 notes in any position, and then you pick the first one in your first finger, then you hammer on the 2 next notes, and then you pull off the 2 next notes again. So you go, and that's the whole sequence. And then you move that, and you don't have to pick every time you shift positions. So it's a legato little run there. So you might want to practice that for a minute or two. And then we're going to, every time you end your run, you can either slide down to a note from the arpeggio, one of these notes, so you can practice going, or, so you ended there. You just slide down to that note, or you can slide up, but when you slide up, you end your 5-note sequence here by hitting the note in the middle. Might be your 3rd finger, might be your 2nd finger, but you hit the note in the middle and then pick it. And that could be one of your arpeggio notes that you're hitting right there. So you can go like that, or it could be, but that's not an arpeggio note right there. So, but you can also slide up to a note. So you hit that note again in the middle of your configuration here. This example, it's the 3rd finger. And you pick that, and then you slide up to an arpeggio note. Let's choose a high one in the 16th fret. Like that. And then instead of just ending there, you slide it up to the 16th fret. So you go. Like that. So that's the way we're going to end it. And then we can continue playing something melodic from there, which is in time. So this whole exercise, the first step you're going to take is to put on the jam track and then play 2 bars of just fast notes. And then play 2 bars or 1 bar of slow notes. And it's very important to return to those slower notes and get back into time and back into the period. If you're just playing a lot of notes and then playing something slow and then something faster, and you don't know where you are, then you can't structure your solo. You cannot structure it and get that feeling of a beginning and an end. So let's put on the jam track and let me do 2 bars of just playing something fast and then ending that and playing something in time that is slower and then returning to that again. So let's put on the track here. Fast. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not necessarily very pretty, but the point here is to constantly go in and out of that rhythm and to know where one is at all times. So instead of just floundering around, you listen to the music intensely when you play that fast one so you can get back into the rhythm again. So I think the jam track is starting now, so let's do it again. I hope you get what I mean here. In the beginning, it's going to be very hard to return to the music. You're going to, as soon as you begin to play fast, you just lose sense of where you are. But that's the whole point of this, and that's why the jam track is so short. What I recommend is that you take, because it's just 2 periods here that you're playing, and so you start and end all the time. So after you begin to play over this jam track that has a beginning and an ending all the time, then you really get that feeling of, okay, here comes the period that starts. I'm going to play something fast, and then bam, I'm ending on a slow line, playing slow for a while, and then I go into something fast again. And if you just have a never-ending jam track that just keeps playing in the background, then what you're going to lose all track of where you are in the music. So it's very good to have an ending and a beginning. And then see, as you do this, can you be more and more better and better at structuring your solo. So you start with something slow or something, and then you go into something fast, then you have something slow again, and then you switch back, and then you end. You listen for that ending, that cadence, up to that A minor in the end, and end on a cool note there. So that's really the discipline here. And what happens if you do this enough is that you get the internal sense of where you are in the music and how to go in and out of runs and ending them in a cool way. I'm just going to do it once more, but I'm going to use all 6 strings and have some fun using this exercise. So let's do it just one more time. If I can hit the button here, I could. End of period, new period. So, this is not magic. This is just a matter of practicing it. So. And just sticking with it, although it seems sometimes impossible in the beginning. Now go to the website if you're not already watching this video there and get your free program material and download this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the direct link below this video and you'll see the page with the download links right away. You don't have to type in your email or anything like that, it's just free. Go download the PDF with the charts and then the jam track you've just heard, and download this video as well. Then do this exercise every day for just 5 minutes, and if you can, just expand it and use more strings. And after the 7 days, judge for yourself. Go do it now. Don't put it off. It will take you only a couple of minutes to download the material and try out the process. Talk is cheap. Action is what gives you results and a new experience of what you can really do if you have the right method. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.